1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 times 6 is, what is it? 24! Okay, so now you know my weakness is math. It is time to get cooking. I'm Jacqui Saldana, and I've been creating simple and delicious recipes on my website for more than 10 years with my family. And now I'm inviting you into my kitchen to come cook along with me while I show you how to easily create weeknight dinners, decadent desserts, and everything tasty in between. I keep it real, and most importantly, I keep it simple. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly videos. And now, let's see what we're making today. What's up, everyone? My name is Jacqui. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, I am so glad that you're back. Today we're making chocolate covered dates that are stuffed with peanut butter and sliced almonds. They're topped with sea salt. They are crunchy, they're soft, they're delicious. They taste just like little mini candy bars. I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. We shared it on our TikTok and it went crazy, so let's get into it. First things first, we're gonna need some dates. You can get these at any grocery store. They typically are in like the produce section or where they have like nuts and dried fruits. You can get dates that are already pitted, or you can get the ones that still have the pits in them, which these ones still have the pits in them. But look at these. If you're not familiar with the date, they are chewy, they're sweet, they are so tasty. You can eat them just like this and they just taste like a sweet little candy. You can pop these in smoothies. You can do a lot of amazing things with these. Dates are pretty special. But today we're gonna stuff them with peanut butter and coat them in chocolate. So they still have their pits in them. And like I said, you can get them without their pits, but I don't know, I kind of like taking their little pits out. I find it a little bit therapeutic, but you take the little pit out, it's like a seed, right? Slice it down the middle. I'll do it one more time. Little cut there, open it up, there's the pit. So we're gonna put these onto a little baking sheet here that's lined with parchment paper, and we're gonna cut these open and then we'll move on to the next step. These are so easy to make, and if you are like me, who craves something sweet at the end of the day, after dinner, or like a late night sweet treat, these are perfect because I feel like they're definitely better for you than having like a Snickers bar or something of that nature. They're definitely sweet, and you know, we're coating them in chocolate, so these are a little bit more healthier. This is like a sweet treat I can feel good about. So dates can be used for so many things. Like I said, you can put them in smoothies. I wanna know if you're familiar with dates, and if you use them in your house, I wanna know how you use them. Let me know down below in the comments your favorite way to use a date, enjoy a date at home. So now we have our cute little dates. They do look a little funky, but you know what? We love them. We love you guys. So I've got a piping bag here. Of course, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a sandwich bag. Or if you are very talented, you could just use a small spoon and bloop, bloop, bloop. But I like using a piping bag. And I'm using peanut butter today. You can use almond butter, you can use sunflower butter, you can use any nut butter that you want. Any nut butter is gonna taste delicious in here. 4 times 6 is 24, so we've got 24 dates here. You need probably about a half a cup to maybe 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter or nut butter, whatever nut butter you wanna use. So I am familiar with peanut butter, obviously, almond butter. Also, there's also different flavors of almond butter. There's sunflower butter, which we use in my daughter's sandwiches for school. But what are your favorite nut butters? If you have a favorite nut butter or a favorite nut butter brand, I would love for you to share in the comments. All right, so I've got my peanut butter here, and I'm just going to pipe in some peanut butter into the center of the date, and you want to be generous, okay? Every date is a different size, so some might use more peanut butter than others. But that's what we're doing here. We're just gonna fill in the rest of these with peanut butter. Okay, so we just finished piping these up with peanut butter. And honestly, you could just eat them just like this. They're chewy, they're delicious with the added peanut butter. They're sweet, more sweet, a little bit of salt. We're gonna kick it up a few more notches, and we're gonna stuff these with sliced almonds. You can stuff these with pecans. You can completely omit the nuts if you'd like, but stuffing them with some type of nut in the center gives it a nice crunch to something that's otherwise more chewy and soft, which I love. I'm big on textures and I love a good crunch with something super soft. So we're gonna take our sliced almonds and then we're just going to stuff them inside. So super simple. You can do this with any nut. I've found that sliced almonds are a little bit easier to work with, and I do like the little crunch they give. And these are just raw sliced almonds. We're gonna be adding sea salt to the top of these after we dip them in chocolate. So using a salted nut here might not be the best option just because it might come out too salty. But if you are not gonna add the sea salt on top, then yeah, use a salted nut, whatever your heart desires. And also, like, if you know somebody that would like these, please take this recipe video and share it with somebody that might enjoy it too. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and help us grow. That would mean the world. Okay, so we have our dates, our cute little dates stuffed with peanut butter and sliced almonds. And what I'm doing is just sort of like pressing these almonds in as much as I can. And yeah, you can eat these just like this, I guess, if you wanted to, but you guessed it, we're gonna level it up a little bit more with some melted chocolate. What I like to do now is put them in the freezer so they can firm up, so it's easier to dip them in the chocolate later on. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer for about 15 minutes or so, and yeah, then we're gonna dip them in chocolate. There are two ways you can melt chocolate at home. You wanna start by using a heat-safe bowl. The key to melting chocolate at home is slow and low, okay? So we've got our chocolate here. Whoop. And you could do this in the microwave. If you do it in the microwave, you want to do it at 30-second intervals, and each time you want to pull it out, give it a little stir, and then pop it back in. And then the second it starts to really get melty and you see a few little chips in there holding on for dear life and haven't melted yet, then you can take it out, keep stirring it, and then they should slowly melt. My favorite way to melt chocolate at home is with a double boiler, okay? So that means you get a saucepan here and you fill it up with about an 1.5 inches or 2 inches of water. The key is when you put your bowl on top of the pot, you don't want the water to be touching the pot, so you just fill it up a little bit, okay? And then what I like to do is get this to a boil. You're gonna warm that up. Once it comes to a boil, you're gonna turn it all the way on low, and then you're gonna put your chocolate chips on, okay? So we're gonna wait for that to boil. Another little trick I like to do is add a little bit of coconut oil to my chocolate chips. This helps them stay nice and glossy and melt nice and smooth. You can also do 1 teaspoon of unsalted butter. But yes, this is like a little magic trick that I like to do. It just makes the chocolate come out perfect every time. So for 11 ounces of chocolate chips, or just 1 bag of chocolate chips, use 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil. So 1/2 teaspoon of unsalted butter. My family and I just came back from a trip to Costa Rica. We went and surprised my grandmother, who we hadn't seen in 2 years, and it was such a beautiful trip with family. We traveled a bit around the country, and because my daughter Mila, she's in kindergarten, she had to go on independent study because she didn't go back to school right away after the holiday break. So we got this thick packet of schoolwork, and it was, I mean, I think nightmare is a strong word, but holy moly, some of that schoolwork, even for kindergarten, is just wild. And teachers deserve like every medal. I mean, teachers are incredible because like, it's so hard to explain like subtraction and addition, and I know those are super simple things. We know those because we've been learning them all our life, but like to sit down and explain it to a kindergartner is like, okay, we have 5 M&Ms and then I don't know. And some of you are probably laughing and being like, come on, Jacqui, it's just subtraction and addition, but no, it's hard. It's hard work. And I'm scared. I'm scared, like when she starts learning fractions, I don't even know what to do. I won't even know what to do.
Mommy, I want some.
You want some of these?
Yeah.
You want some of these?
Yeah.
You want some of these?
Yeah.
What are these?
I need these.
You don't know what these are, but you want one?
Yeah.
What are they called?
Yeah.
Chocolate chips?
Yeah. Okay, cake.
What are they called?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. Okay, here. I can give you 3. 1.
2, 3.
Okay. Oh, one at a time. Eat one at a time. It's boiling now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the heat all the way to low. I'm gonna place the bowl right on top. Get my little spatula here. And we're just gonna let the steam from the boiling water, which is now not boiling anymore because it's on low, but the steam is going to melt the chocolate. Oh my gosh, is there anything better than melted chocolate? I also love white chocolate melted too. And I know people, I feel like white chocolate is pretty polarizing, just like cilantro. People are like, oh, I hate cilantro, or oh, I love cilantro. Do you like white chocolate? I love white chocolate. Let me know down below in the comments if you like white chocolate or regular chocolate. Oh, and I don't even think I've mentioned this, but we're using milk chocolate chips because those are my favorite. You can also use semi-sweet chocolate chips if you'd like. And if you want to keep these dairy-free, use dark chocolate because I'm pretty sure there's no milk in dark chocolate. Correct me if I'm wrong though. I shared this on Instagram. I redid my entire spice cabinet. Look how pretty. I'm also like I'm trying to get different spices happening. Like, oh, you can see, look at, I bought this gochujang because I'm gonna make like some sauce out of it. I'm very excited, but anyways, look how pretty. I've got my sea salt. No pantry is complete without sea salt. You see how they're melted, but some chocolate chips in there are holding on for dear life, like they don't want to melt all the way just yet. I'm gonna turn them off the heat and then I'm just gonna keep stirring them until they're fully melted. All right, we have our melted chocolate here. Look how beautiful. Okay, now let's go get our dates. I've got my Maldon sea salt flakes here, which are my absolute favorite. If you don't have Maldon flaky sea salt like this, you can certainly use regular sea salt. That's totally fine. I'm gonna get myself a little fork here. And honestly, the best way to go about this is just exactly how you would think. You're gonna plop the date right in the center of the chocolate and you're gonna coat it, and then you're gonna use the fork to get any excess chocolate off, and then you're gonna repeat. So we've got our little date here. We're gonna plop him in and just kind of coat him in the chocolate, scoop him up with the fork. And you see as I'm tapping the side of the fork on the side of the bowl, all the chocolate, the excess chocolate is dipping through the fork prongs. Just place him back onto the parchment paper. And at this point, you really want to make sure you have parchment paper or a silicone baking mat underneath these guys, because that way the chocolate doesn't stick. And then I'm going to sprinkle them while they're still wet, while the chocolate is still wet and melty. I'm going to sprinkle them with sea salt. So now these guys are going to go back into the freezer until the chocolate has completely firmed up. Although some of these are, I mean, you could pick these up and eat them right away. But I like them in the freezer. Here's why. For some scientific reason, the dates don't get like ice, like rock hard. So the chocolate on the outside obviously gets crunchy, but I like to store these in the freezer. You can absolutely store them in the fridge if you're like, Jacqui, that's way too hard on my teeth. I get that, but I don't know. I like these stored in the freezer, and I like to bite into them. And then the inside is like magically like soft and almost nougaty, and then you get that crunch from the almond. And yeah, I mean, some people say that they taste like little drops of heaven. No, just kidding. Some people say they taste like Snickers bars, that they have that kind of consistency. So at this point, you can put them in an airtight container and store them in the fridge or the freezer, whatever your preference is. But yeah, I'm gonna let these chill out in the freezer for a little bit before we enjoy one. I'm gonna cut one open and I'm gonna show you what they look like inside. But honestly, these are perfection. I'm so excited for you to try these if you haven't already. Our dates are out of the freezer. They look so yummy and delicious. All right, I'm gonna cut one open so you can see the center of it. And then look at the center. You've got the chewy date and the peanut butter and the almonds coated in a thin coating of chocolate. You guys, these are to die for. Oh my God, they're chewy, they're sweet, they're salty, they're crunchy. They're everything you want a dessert to be, or like a little afternoon snack. Oh my God. Okay, these are so good. You have to make them. If you make them, please come back and let me know what you think of them. If you've modified them in any way, I'd love to know. These are so freaking good. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, if you liked this recipe, please give this video a thumbs up. You have no idea how much that helps this channel out. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.